Hello everyone, my name is Luke Harding and I'm the Kids Ministry Director here at Eastside Baptist Church. And I have a little bit of information I want to send your way about some changes that are coming to our Kids Worship Hour that happens every Sunday morning here at Eastside. First off, starting this Sunday, we are going to be having Kids Worship every Sunday. In the past it's been every other Sunday, or actually the first and second Sunday of every month. Now it's going to be every Sunday that your kids are going to be going to Kids Worship. And then also another change that we have is that instead of your kids going to adult worship and then being dismissed out of the middle of it, they're going to transition directly from their Connect group to the Kids Worship Hour. Okay, so I want to walk you through some of the logistics of what that looks like. I want to give you the why of why we're making some of these changes so that you understand where we're coming from and why we're doing this. And then I also want to walk through some important check-in and drop off and pick up procedures at the end. So please watch all the way. Got some really important information for you. Okay, I first want to tell you the why of why we're making these changes. I know I've talked to several of our parents and some of you are curious why we're making these changes. One of the first reasons we're making the changes is for consistency. Kids worship really has been an afterthought. A lot of our families come to church and then once again they're like, oh, is this a Kids Worship Sunday? Is it not? I don't know. We don't know when it is. Okay, we want consistency so that you always know what your kids are doing every Sunday morning. We also want consistency in our teaching. As it has been when we miss Sundays, it's hard to say, hey guys, do you remember what we learned last time in Kids Worship? Because they've forgotten it. Okay, but if it was just a previous Sunday, we can say, hey, do you remember what we learned then? Hey, let's build on that. We're having that consistent teaching every Sunday, and I think we're going to be able to do some really fun discipleship things with your kids with that consistency. Okay, also, kind of going along with that is content. First off, Kids Worship is built on a kid level. Kids can come and they get to worship in a way they understand. Our sermons that we have in Kids Worship, they're going to be on a kid's attention span. Does that mean we're going to water it down? Probably not. But we might be working on a different attention span than we do in adult worship. Also, content, think about content on Pastor Rick's end. You know, Pastor Rick has a very large age span that he has in adult worship. And it's hard sometimes to create a sermon that you know feeds adults, yet at the same time knows there are first graders in there. Let's be honest, some of the Old Testament stories might be a little awkward to preach having first and second graders in Kids Worship. So he wants the freedom to have that, to be able to have whatever content he would like in his sermons. Okay? And then also, lastly, one thing we take very seriously is safety here at Eastside Kids. And so the transition of, hey, dismiss your kids straight out of adult worship. Hey, go to the back. There's adults there. They're going to take you I don't know where, and they're going to have this thing called Kids Worship. That's not the safe environment that we want to create here at Eastside. So this way parents can drop off and pick up at the same location. They know exactly where their kids are. They know what they're doing. They know who's going to be there. It's just a much safer transition where we can know what kids we are taking care of and be responsible with them during that time. Okay, so also I want to walk through really quickly kind of what we do in Kids Worship. I know a lot of you don't know that much what we do. I first want to say you're invited to come to Kids Worship anytime you would like. If you want to know what your kids are doing, I would love to have you there. Come visit and see what Kids Worship is all about. Okay, but first we have, you know, there's going to be a little bit of time in between Connect Group and when Kids Worship starts. They're going to have a game room, an activity room where they can color or do word searches, a hangout room where they can just talk with their friends during that filler time when kids are being dropped off. And then when Kids Worship begins, we have welcome announcements, just like you do in adult worship, except we have a little more fun with it. Also, then we usually sing about 3 worship songs. Some of them have hand motions, some of them don't. Really cool feature, in a few weeks we're going to be giving you a playlist of the songs we sing in Kids Worship and probably, hopefully, a CD to go home with you so you can listen to those songs in the car and help your kids prepare for worship on Sunday. Then we always play a game that connects back to our lesson and begins help building that main idea of our lesson. And then we also have a Kids Worship lesson, or almost, honestly, a sermon on a kid's level. Sometimes to break up that attention span, it might be lesson part 1 and lesson part 2. We have some fun things to help kids really grow and learn and grasp that main point of what we're teaching every week. I'm really excited with this new changes to Kids Worship, the consistency every week. We're going to be able to do some really fun series that we wouldn't be able to do usually. Also, really fun, there's going to be sometimes when Pastor Rick is doing a series in adult worship, and we're going to be doing a series that matches it in kids worship. For example, starting last week, we were doing our Restart series in adult worship. Also, for the next 3 Sundays, we're going to be doing a kids Restart series where we're learning the same things in kids worship that you're learning in adult worship. Make some fun conversations between you and your parents, just trying to help connect parents and kids as they grow to follow Jesus together. Okay? And then usually that fills most of our time. One thing we are going to add to the end of kids worship is a missions time right at the end where we watch some mission videos, about 5 minutes, and talk about being on mission and telling other people about Jesus. I'm really excited about that. And then about that time, it's going to be time for you to come pick up your parents. Pick up your kids. So if you will, come with me and I'm going to walk you through the check-in and the check-out procedures of kids worship so that you're all set for Sunday morning. I hope to see you then. Okay, so here we are in our children's hallway, as you can tell by the echo in here. I want to talk with you about dropping your kids off. If your kids come to the Connect Group Hour, drop off and transition to kids worship is going to be simple because your Connect Group teachers, your kids' Connect Group teachers, will transition your kids from Connect Group to kids worship at exactly 10:15. If you want your kids not to go to kids worship, come pick them up before 10:15 and you'll pick them right up where you drop them off at their Connect Group. But at 10:15, they will transition the kids to kids worship. Kids worship is going to be upstairs on the 2nd floor of our children's hallway. So they're going to come here to the main stairwell here in the hallway, and your kids will go upstairs. As a side note, your kids, we will double check again to make sure they have their name badge. Please make sure your kids get checked in at Connect Group so that they have the appropriate name badge, and make sure that you have the appropriate parent badge. Okay, but say you didn't come to Connect Group Hour and you want to see your kids still come to kids worship. No problem. You're going to come here to the children's hallway and you're going to see this. There's a line here, just like if you were at McDonald's or at the movie theater or an amusement park, and this sign here that says Kids Worship Entrance. Okay, that's how you know you're at the right spot. You're going to come, hop in line here with your kid. There will be a kids ministry attendant here at the end of the line, and they will get you all checked into kids worship. They're going to verify to make sure they have that name badge, which you can print out at any of our children's check-in at both ends of the hallway. So make sure that happens before you come, and then your kids will go straight up to kids worship. You can go to adult worship. It's going to be super simple. All right, you just come here, find the sign, find the line, and talk to the attendant at the end, and they will take care of your kids from there. Okay, and then after adult worship, let's talk about how you come pick up your kids. It's pretty much just as simple. You just have to make sure that you have your parent badge. If you don't have your parent badge, I can't give you your kid, or you will have to fill out a lost parent badge form. Okay? There's going to be lots of adults coming from adult worship. There's going to be lots of kids being picked up. So to help keep that from being too chaotic and so that we can help each one of you in a timely manner, you will all hop in line here. If there's a lot of parents in the line, try only having one parent jump in line. Okay? You're going to wait in line until you get to the front, and the kids ministry attendant will ask you the name of your kid, and they will message upstairs and tell them that your kid is ready to be picked up. And then you simply step to the side either way, and you're going to wait just a minute until your kids come down the stairs. You need to make sure that you give that kids ministry attendant your parent badge. And then when your kid comes down the stairs, they will take their name tag off, stick them together, and your kid is free to go. Okay? Super simple. The only real big change is that I have a fancy little line that you can hop in here so that we can do it in an orderly fashion. And then, last step, bring your kids back next week for another awesome week of kids worship. I'm really excited about these changes, and I hope that you are too, and I hope that we can do an excellent job of discipling your kids and leading them in worship in a kid-friendly manner. See you on Sunday.